Hey everybody, it's E right with InDesign Graphics, and today I'm going to be doing a really quick tutorial on HTML coding and web forms. This is really going to be a two-part tutorial because the first part is going to consist of the actual HTML code that's going to create the form, structure the form rather, and the second part is going to be the PHP script that actually processes the information that the user puts into the form. Okay, I'm going to assume that you have a basic understanding of both HTML and a basic understanding of PHP. I'm not a PHP whiz by far, but I do know enough to create a web form. So, also I'm working on my local host. I'm working on my Apache server XAMPP. And yeah, so let's go ahead and get started. If you'll notice, I've already created a file. I've named it webform.php. Now the extension is PHP because this file, webform.php, is going to contain the PHP script that's going to process the information that goes into our HTML form. Alright, so we're going to just start with our HTML tags. HTML body, if I can type today. Hit enter a couple of times and close out the body tag and close out the HTML tag. Alright, now in this space, we're going to start with our form. And our form is going to have two attributes. The first attribute is going to be action. And the action is going to be webform.php because this is going to be the actual PHP script that processes the information in the rest of the HTML form. And the second attribute is going to be method. And our method is going to be post. And again, I'll explain more about that in the second part of the tutorial. And we're going to close out the form tag. Now, go back, enter a couple of times. Okay, now a lot of coders, designers, coders, are against creating forms or against tables in general for things other than displaying data. But I structure my tables with forms because it's easier and I haven't had any problems with it, and I'm going to continue to do it. So with that said, open our table tag and I'm going to give it an attribute of width, and the width is going to be 400 pixels. Enter a couple of times and close out my table. Now you'll notice that I'm opening and closing tags as I go along. That's just a personal preference of mine, just so that I don't forget to close it later on, and so that sometimes if you forget to close it, you'll cause problems with your code. So, alright, what I'm gonna what I'm gonna do now is create a table row, and I'm just gonna hit enter, and that basically is another thing that I just do so that I'm able to keep track of basically what I'm doing. So we have our table row tag, hit enter a few times and close my table row tag. Now, in between the table row tags, I'm going to hit tab again, and I'm going to have my table data. Basically, the table, hit space, close it out. Now, this cell is going to contain the label for our input field. So this is just going to be name, and again, that's closed out. We hit enter, and space, close it. Now, this field is going to be the actual input field that the user is going to type into. So it's going to be input type equals text, name equals name, / close it. This / basically just closes the input field, closes the tag for the input field. Now, this is basically, visually it's going to be side by side, and you'll see when one side show you the finished result of the table. But to make it a lot easier on you, what you can do is copy all of this, hit Control C to copy it, go right under it, hit Control V. And this basically just makes another row with the same structure underneath this row. So all we're going to do for this is going to change it to email, and we're going to change the name to email. And again, these attributes, the name attributes, are extremely important because these are what we're going to use to reference the information for the PHP file. So hit enter again and Control V to paste, and we're going to change this label to message, and we're going to delete this, the input field, out because we're going to have a text box which is going to be bigger for the user to type in their message. So basically that's a little bit different. What we're going to type is text area, and we're going to add attributes. We're going to basically size the box. So I'm going to make mine 5 rows high by 20 columns wide. And you can make yours any size you want, but I just think that it's going to work for me. And the name, cannot forget the name attribute. The name is going to be message. Okay? And we close this by / text area and close out the tag. Now that's so far we have our name, email, and our message. Now we need a submit button to submit the information that the user inputs. So we're just going to copy the name field again and just hit enter because it's already copied, and we hit Control V. And here we're just going to delete this because we want this first cell to remain empty, and the second cell, which is our input, it's not going to be an input type. This is going to be submit because it's going to be a button. The name is going to be submit, and the value is going to be send message. Now the value is what the user is going to see on the button when they go to the form. So basically that is the form in a nutshell. Let's just check to make sure everything looks correct. Name, email, message. Make sure I close everything out. Alright, and so far everything is looking good, so we'll just hit save. And we'll go to our browser to test. I'm just going to hit local. Okay. My computer is being really douchebaggy today. Alright, so we hit localhost and type in the title of our document, webform.php, hit enter, and this is what we get. This is our web form. Alright, you see you have the label's name, the input field for it. They can go in and type whatever they need to type. And we have submit button. So nothing happens because we haven't coded the PHP script that's going to process the information. But so far we took this and turned it into this. Okay, so I hope you were able to follow along, and I'll see you in part 2 where we go ahead and set up the